We'll see you in a minute when we break out the first bug out bag we're going to be looking at is...
Well, let's do yours first.
Yeah, how about you first?
Howdy, folks. Howdy, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to the first edition of Think Tactical. My not so new. We've been around a while, but we haven't broadcasted in maybe 2 years or something. We started during the pandemic, or maybe right before, and then been doing other things, other channels and stuff. So here we are. This is my first reaction video in my new show, Think Tactical. It's brand new for me now. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be just talking about situational awareness and keeping your family safe, keeping your loved ones safe, keeping yourself safe. This world is getting worse and worse all the time. And all those things that you think can happen to somebody else always happens to somebody else all the time until such time as it happens to you. So you better be thinking tactical. In this case, an attempted kidnapping of a 6-year-old girl is caught on camera. This happened August 26, 2022. We're going to take a look at this, and we're going to be talking about this as it happens. We're going to be talking about thinking tactical in tactical situations here and what you need to be teaching your children. So here we go.
What to do when a man grabbed her in front of her Ohio home. Her family's home surveillance camera caught the attempted abduction and her escape. Her family spoke to ABC News. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the video and reaction from the girl and her family. So
this idiot is going to attempt to kidnap somebody's child for real. And we're going to see it.
With a piercing scream, doing what she was taught to do, 6-year-old Kennedy Nash just narrowly escaping an alleged abductor.
Wait a minute. Dude. Oh, my God. This was horrible. This was absolutely horrible. And this is a pencil neck geek. But he's a big man when it comes to stealing somebody's child. This is freaking crazy. Let's go back and check this out. Now, I want you guys to be watching right here. Let me forward this up a little bit here. Here we go. You see that he grabs this girl by the arm, this little girl by the arm. This is absolutely crazy. As we back it up, we can see. And if you're watching this on a phone, this is the YouTube format. So all you got to do is turn your phone sideways and put it on auto rotate, and you'll be able to see this much bigger. But check this out. This is crazy. Here we go.
With a piercing scream, doing what she was taught to do, 6-year-old Kennedy Nash just narrowly escaping an alleged abductor. The 6-year-old and her parents speaking exclusively to ABC News.
This guy walked by and he touched me and he told me.
The Ohio family surveillance camera caught.
Now they're showing this slow motion. This guy walked by, and he touched me and he grabbed me. This is absolutely the most sickening thing you can think of in the world. Now this girl is just steps away from her front door, so this can happen in a New York second, a nanosecond. But as you watch this guy walking in slow motion here, and this is what we call an opportunistic. This is a crime of opportunity. Not necessarily that he planned to do this, but the fact that the opportunity presented itself. And this is how fast your children can be snatched up out of here. So they're showing it in slow motion here. Let's take a look as he walks by in slow motion.
The Ohio family surveillance camera caught it all.
He sees the kid, the little girl, and immediately jumps into action.
You can see Kennedy
So he tried to grab at her one time, and then he's going to try again. 2 grabs to get her. So she's been trained well, as we can see, because she pulls away from him. But let's check this out.
Ohio family surveillance camera caught it all. You can see Kennedy just steps from her front door when a stranger suddenly grabs her and tries to...
Oh my God, it was 3 times. He grabbed for her 3 times. This is absolutely frightening. Here we go. We're going to check this out again in slow motion as he grabs for her.
Ohio family surveillance camera caught it all.
1,
you can see Kennedy just steps from her front
2,
door when a stranger suddenly grabs her and tries to
3.
walk away with her.
He wouldn't have.
Now, this is the thing that saved her life, but we're going to go into that in just a moment.
Let go of her if she wouldn't have pulled and screamed like she did.
The whole encounter lasting less than 10 seconds. As Kennedy pulled away and screamed, the man quickly letting go. Kennedy then running inside for help. Her dad...
So we want to talk about, in this video, we want to talk about the things that you should teach your children. You better be thinking tactical. And to think tactical and keep your family alive and alert, you're not only thinking tactical, you're teaching your children to think tactical too. To think through the situation. And things like that have to be talked about, and they have to be practiced. You got to practice your children. You got to speak to your children and practice your children so that they know what to do. The things that she did that saved her life. She screamed, she pulled away, she fought, and she ran. She created distance between her and her attacker. We're going to get back in and watch this again. And look at these things that she did, this beautiful young girl, these things she did to save her own life. So we're coming back here to the slow motion part. She's going to be fighting the whole time. You know why? You know why she's fighting? She's fighting because she's been taught. Strangers don't touch you. You don't walk up to strangers. You don't go up to strangers. You don't talk with strangers. You don't speak with strangers. You don't interact with strangers, and especially not strange men. And so the whole time she knows everything that's going on here is wrong and that she's got to do something about it to save her own life. Here we go.
The Ohio family surveillance camera caught it all. You can see Kennedy just steps from her front door when a stranger suddenly grabs her and tries to walk.
Now watch. She's already running. She's already trying to get to the house when he grabs her. And before he can do something like put his hand over, and I want you to notice this. This is broad daylight. But when these guys move, there's nobody to see. This is how your child disappears. If you're looking at my arrow, there's nobody to see. There's no one on the street. There's no one over here. There's this car passing by. And you know, when you're in the car, you're looking at your cell phone and everything else. You might not notice this at all. There's no one on the steps, no one on the porch. This is how quickly your child can disappear. There's nobody to see. Flash and they're gone. Flash in a second, she's gone. But she sees. She knows what's going on. So she's already running, trying to create distance. He grabs her by the hand and she immediately pulls back and she lets out that shriek that turned him off and saved her life.
Walk away with her.
He wouldn't have let go of her if she wouldn't have.
And then she turned and she ran. She didn't give him a chance to make a 4th attempt. Watch this again. Here we go.
He wouldn't have let go of her.
And she's running. She is running to save her own life. Hey, little girl, I am so happy for you. Oh my gosh. Outstanding stuff.
If she wouldn't have pulled and screamed.
So dad is saying she saved her own life if she wouldn't have pulled and screamed. Let's hear him say this again. Here we go.
If she wouldn't have pulled and screamed, he wouldn't have let go of her if she wouldn't have pulled and screamed like she did.
The whole encounter lasting less than 10 seconds. As Kennedy pulled away and screamed, the man quickly letting go. Kennedy then running inside for help. Her dad, Ricky, jumping into his car, following the man while on the phone with authorities.
I chased him like he still had my kid. I definitely didn't want him to be able to go snatch another kid.
Police later arresting 33-year-old.
Look at this weirdo. Look at him. He looks like an incredible loser. Look how big is he high? This guy, this is the monster. This is the last sight your child would see before dying. A face of a ne'er-do-well, a face of a crummy creep. Somebody that belongs on death row. This is the last thing, this monster, this is the last thing your child would see before she dies. You got to be thinking tactical. You got to teach your children to think tactical.
Derek McPherson. He's in jail and charged with abduction and inappropriate grabbing. The Nashes say they talk with their 4 girls about how to fight off an attacker, never imagining they'd need to put that lesson into practice.
I'm so proud of her, because as soon as she screamed, he let go. So obviously, it does work.
Over 83% of the time, when a child is able to get away from their would-be abductor, something that they did proactively, like kicking, screaming, or pulling away, and exactly what she did in this case. She's the reason why she's home safe tonight.
And experts recommend that you have these safety conversations with your kids early. Teach them things like your home address, phone numbers, and also help them identify neighbors or safe places that they can run to in the event of danger.
But you got to teach him more. You got to teach him more than that. I don't know who Kalen Walsh is. Is that John Walsh's son? It could be. But the other things you have to teach him is, so if you are kidnapped and you are, and he did manage to get her, you can't stop fighting. You can't stop flailing. You can't get into a car. If you get thrown into a car, you have to keep fighting. You have to keep trying to get to the door. You got to get out. You can't you can't have your child allow herself to be taken to a secondary crime scene where only the worst things can happen. This guy works on speed, stealth, abduction, getting away from the area to someplace they feel that they can be secluded and create the most creepy crimes and just profane crimes that they can against the children of humanity. So in this case, it worked. The tactical teachings of her parents, they never knew that they would actually have to employ these tactics, that their children would have to employ these tactics. But like I said, this happens to everybody else until it happens to you. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. And you better be thinking tactical.